It is 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lake.
I'm Ed Lingao. The headlines of this are: the Pasig RTC has ordered the transfer of expelled Bamban Mayor Alice Go and 7 others to the new Bilibid prison. That's after the court found them guilty of qualified human trafficking and sentenced them to reclusion perpetua. That's 20 to 40 years in prison. You'll also fined 2 million pesos each. At the same time, the Pasig RTC ruled that the multi-billion peso Baofu compound in Bamban, Tarlac, which used to be a pogo and scam hub, is forfeited in favor of the government.
Significant victory para sa Filipino people, especially concerning yung national issues, yung sovereignty natin, justice. Medyo kinakabahan ako kanina. Of course, we expect yung worst, but this is a big surprise para sa amin lahat.
So finally, after more than 1 year, napakabilis po ng korte, binigay sa atin yung favorable decision. So convicted po si Alice and yung pong other 7 accused. Life sentence po and forfeited po ang entire Baofu compound in favor of the government. 6 billion.
Well, unang-una talagang i-kuan namin yan, yung proper turnover and everything from in how to implement the order of the court kasama ng ating AMLAC. It's not yet over talaga, kaya andyan yung EO 74 and then came this RA 12312. So yan talagang pag-uusapan namin ulit together with the other agencies kasi the government is really serious on this.
Meantime, senators also hailed the guilty verdict for Alice Go and others.
Today, justice has been served. The conviction of Alice Go, aka Guo Huaping, is a victory against corruption, human trafficking, cybercrime, and many other transnational crimes. Ngayon, hindi na sila makakaulit.
Well, maganda na mabilis yung hustisya at inaasahan natin na hindi na gagaya yung ibang mga sindikato kung ganito kabilis yung hustisya pagdating dito sa issue ng mga pogo. Sana lang kung gaano kabilis ito, ganun din kabilis ma-resolve yung mga issues natin pagdating sa flood control.
Malacanang has acknowledged that former Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin did not resign from his post. Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro cited Bersamin's statements yesterday in which he said he submitted himself to the president's discretion as part of ongoing reorganization. But meantime, the president joked that First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos has become the country's quote-unquote ambassador for migrant workers. This follows her recent trip to Europe to assist the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration with its activities. President Marcos also teased her about joining an upcoming cabinet shakeup.
First, our First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, who has recently been traveling to Europe to assist with on the OWA with some of the activities that. So she has become our ambassador now for migrant workers. It's your new designation. Di ba magka-cabinet shake-up tayo?
Sabi mo, pabiro.
Hindi. Minsan half-meant, di ba? Minsan ang mga joke.
Tingnan na lang po natin. Kasi kung nakita niyo po na parang pabiro po yung pagkakasabi ng Pangulo. So, yun muna po tayo. Face value. Sa ngayon po ay wala pa po sa ating ina-announce or isinasabing update patungkol dyan.
And the other stories we're watching this Thursday, November 20. Retired Major General Romeo Poquis, the head of the United People's Initiative, or UPI, says the group will petition the Supreme Court to compel President Bongbong Marcos Jr. to disclose his health status. Poquis told our sister program The Big Story that the move stems from allegations of drug use and addiction against the president himself. The group staged an anti-corruption rally at the EDSA People Power Monument recently.
The government has raised 38.2 million pesos from the public auction of luxury cars that were seized from contractors Curly and Sara Discaya that were sold today. Only 3 of the 7 vehicles were sold, with the 45 million peso Rolls-Royce Cullinan among the cars left unsold. Proceeds from the auction will go to the Bureau of Customs Forfeiture Fund, which will be remitted to the National Treasury. And the Armed Forces of the Philippines held a necrological service for the late former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile at Camp Aguinaldo. Two officials, including Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro and AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr., as well as former Senator Gringo Onasan, led the tributes. They remembered Enrile as a perfectionist, a sharp-minded mentor, and a defining figure in both the military and government. Enrile will be buried at the Libingan ng mga Bayani on Saturday, November 22.
And joining us today, finally, fresh from Japan, our resident political heckler, Raul Llamas. Feeling Japanese ka?
Suddenly, you're speechless. That's a first.
Okay.
Speechless ka?
Kuruyo ko eh. Konnichiwa o konbanwa?
Konnichiwa.
And from the Philippine Star, of course, we've got Editor-in-Chief, Ami Pamentuan. Hi, Ami.
Hi.
Hi, Ami.
Hi, Hi. Para lang siya si Ami, ang ganda ng kulay ng damit, oh.
First of all,
birds of color.
Meron tayong cake here.
Ay, nga pala.
Sino may birthday?
Well, tapos na ako. Tapos ka na.
Next year pa dapat, pero pinipilit niya na, so sige.
That leaves only one person on this desk. Happy birthday, Bo.
Okay.
I am a Scorpio.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
May mga regalo siya.
Di naka-red ako, tama-tama.
May mga regalo siya. Isa reject nung kabila. Huwag mo na ilabas.
Hindi ka pa lalabas?
Huwag mo na ilabas. Basta pakita mo.
Galing kay galing kay Tito Ronald.
Huwag mo na ilabas. Baka huwag mo na ilabas.
Pakita ko lang yun.
Ito yung tatak ko. M-Tech.
Huwag lang gaganon-ganon. Nakatakap naman na yun.
Pwede pang cake.
For the cake.
Pwede pang cake. Sit on the cake.
Sa bagay, ito pwede rin.
Pwede pagbalat na ano.
Ito pwede rin sa cake.
Papakita ko rin ito?
Oo. Pakita mo. Huwag mo lalabas.
Oo, yan. Ang ganda.
Huwag mo bubuksan.
Oo, nahugasan ba yan?
Hindi naman pala, hindi naman po natin hugasan mga ganyang bagay eh. Malakas naman yung asido sa tiyan eh. So, pangbalat ng mansanas.
Yung mga marurunong, pag nakita nilang Microtech, alam na nila kung ano yan. Yung mga marurunong.
Unlike?
Unlike yung mga nakatira sa kuweba.
Diretsuhin mo na kasi.
At saka maraming pamahiin.
Bala ka one day. Tingnan mo lang.
Kamayin na natin.
But, teka lang. Katulad ng what happened with our birthdays, anong birthday wish mo?
A world peace.
Ginamit ko na yan. Did it happen? Corny.
Bigyan ng idea. Ano magandang idea? Ano magandang idea?
Sino gusto mo ipakulong? Ayun na lang.
Anong gusto mo?
Ha? Ano?
Diba? Yung kasalukuyan nangyayari dito, anong wish mo?
DPWH contract.
Diba?
Gusto mo ng DPWH contract?
Sabi niya, given the political landscape, ano raw ang wish ko? DPWH contract.
Sino na lang gusto mo ipakulong? Yan ang wish mo na lang.
Sino gusto mo pakulong?
Sino gusto mo ipakulong?
Mahaba listahan ko. Teka.
If you can only put one person in jail.
Huwag naman one person.
Hindi, I mean, wish lang nga eh.
Wish nga lang, wish ko lang eh.
Hindi talaga.
Wish ko lang,
Ano na regalo sa'yo ni Esme? Anong regalo sa'yo ni Esme?
Pagmamahal.
Corny talaga. Lahat ng sagot, corny.
Ako naman, I was gonna go to Bureau of Customs. Bilisan ako ng isang luxury vehicles for you.
Nakita mo ba? Nilabas na yung season yung payong?
Nabenta na yung, nabenta na yung, bibiling ko sana yung payong.
Yung payong lang.
Kaya lang, they said,
tawagan natin si Vince. Tawagan natin.
Kaya lang sabi niya, hindi pwede
The car
hiwalay
has
sa
to go with the
kotse.
payong.
The umbrella has to go with the car. Sabi ko, gusto ko
yung Rolls Royce, 45 million pala.
Payong lang sana bibili ko.
Maraming Rolls Royce payong dun sa Green Hills. Bili ka na lang.
Hindi, dapat yun eh. It has to be the original. Kasi may...
Tapos pwede ko pang magpa-imprenta ng payong na Rolls Royce.
Collector's item na yun.
Pwedeng tama spelling, pwedeng maling spelling.
Hindi. Yung original na payong, collector's item na yun.
Sige nga, paano mo malalaman ang original?
I don't know.
Oo nga, hindi mo naman malalaman.
Tanda ko dati
Puro naman yan made in China.
Nung bago lumalabas yung mga peking cellphone, makakabili ka ng Nokla.
Nokla.
Nokia pa yun. Nokla.
So, may hierarchy naman yan eh. Kung medyo malapit-lapit sa original, mas mahal. Kayo naman.
So, ibang payong na lang. I'll give you ibang payong. Pero yung nabenta today are the Mercedes-Benz G500, the Mercedes-Benz G63, and the Lincoln Navigator. Pinakamahal dyan is the Mercedes-Benz G63.
38 million.
Hindi, 15.6 for the G63.
Lahat in total?
Oh, in total, yes.
Pero at least, hindi siya masyadong conspicuous consumption. Hindi ka pareho ng Rolls-Royce.
Si Andy Reyes ba yan?
No.
Yun nandyan.
Uy, ang ganda ng yan ba yung Mercedes?
Marami naman may Mercedes-Benz dito.
Oo.
Pero mas maganda yung pag
yung medyo masyadong mainit sa mata yung Rolls-Royce eh. Tatanungin ka kagad kung si Diskaya ba yung nakasakay dyan? Tatanungin ka agad dyan eh kapag nakita yan.
Pero di ba 30 yung mga sasakyan, mahigit? 40?
Oo.
Yeah.
Pero ilan lang ang kinumpis ka?
Kasi
yung mga na-determine nila na
they can only confiscate those that are that are proven to be
hindi covered ng
yung customs duties were not paid.
Import entry certificates were not obtained.
Kasi otherwise you'll have to wait for the court to rule on
the forfeiture of the vehicles. Pero so far, itong 12 or 13 that they've seized are the ones na walang paperwork.
Pero yung mga customs officials na pinayagan yan, wala silang kaso.
Ikaw naman.
Ibig sabihin kasi
kaya ng multitasking ng gobyerno.
Ibig sabihin kasi marami pa. Ano matitrace mo yan
Tawagin mo
Sino yung nag-approve?
Tawagin mo
Ganun kadali yun
Tawagin mo si Commissioner Ariel.
Ganun kadali yun No? May paper trail yan, may resibo yan Sino nag-approve? Hindi naman kinakailangan ng major research para malaman yun,
tatanungin natin si Customs Commissioner.
Although this was before his time di ba? He only stepped in ilang months ago ba yun?
But perhaps naman kasi you expect too much. You expect them to sell at the same time you expect them to investigate.
Pero nalaman
That's a bit complicated for a lot of people.
Nalaman mo kasi na anomalous yan, di ba? Kasama dun sa papel, yung pumirma. Isang papel lang yun So bakit ang hirap?
Kung piyato siya nakapirma.
Entry permit. Walang papel.
Hindi. Ang sinasabi, di ba, hindi nabigyan ng tax yan Di ba?
Nirelease
siya,
nirelease.
Pero may record yan nung dumating at nung lumabas. Merong in charge noon.
Hindi ko sure
ang nakapirma doon si Piatos.
O kaya si Chippy.
Anong mangyayari sa'yo kung ganon?
Kung si Chippy, sino pa yung
confidential, ganon. Confidential yung pumirma.
Mga taga-dyaryo talaga. They're conflating the stories, no? Kaya pala, parating nabipagbibintangan yung media.
Mga bias kasi kayo.
Eto, Ronald, dumuwi ka lang. Nagkaroon na naman ng chismis na baka magkaroon na naman daw ng leadership change sa House.
Nasa airport na ako sa Japan, nagchichismak na ako, di ba?
Yun na nga. Baka ikaw nagpapakalat noon. Meron na naman daw mga movement sa House.
Walang movements ngayon.
Hindi ba si Ronnie Puno?
Talaga?
Sa House. Akala ko movement sa military.
Hindi, sa House. Sa House na naman daw.
Sa military, walang movements. Sa House, may mga chismis. Pero for now, wala yon. For now.
Meaning si Boji D is stable right there doing
for now.
He's doing that we can't really figure out.
Paano kasi ang
pero kaninong grupo yun? Yung
malakas ang influence kasi. Malakas ang influence ng presidente although walang aamin sa pagpili ng speaker.
Uy, umamin na si Toby Chanko. Umamin na kay Amin. Sabi niya, President Marcos texted Martin Romualdez last year to say it's time for leadership change sa House. Yun.
Diba?
Just like that. Nagpalit sila ng approach chair.
Si Toby ang umamin.
Well, at least it's an admission. So, but sabihin ko, si J.J. Suarez, Congressman J.J. Suarez has been demoted. Senior Deputy Speaker siya and he got demoted to Deputy Speaker and si Ferdinand Hernandez took his place as Senior Deputy Speaker. What does that mean?
Well, inaasahan naman yan after the budget na magkakaroon ng pagbabago sa leadership ng House. So, imbis na sabay-sabay, iniisa-isa. Diba?
Yes.
Pero definitely...
sinabi ni Boji D, no? Sinabi niya yon. Sabi niya, tatapusin muna natin ang budget and then they will be installing people na malapit sa kanya.
So, hindi lang usapin ng Deputy Speaker yan. Chairmanship ang crucial.
Yan yung old team pa yan
Chairmanship ng mga committees ang major changes kung magkakaroon.
But that's not the only thing we're asking about dun sa lower chamber. We're also asking about all the reports about Ronnie Puno angling for the speaker.
Yeah.
If not angling for the speakership, he's being groomed by some people for the speakership.
Yeah, within the majority rin. Yun ang chismis actually. Magchichismisan na rin lang tayo. Tuloy na natin. Within the majority.
Hindi chismis tayo doon. We are
hindi naman opposition.
Huwag niyong kalimutan this year na chismis si Albi Benitez, na chismis si Frasco, na chismis si Toby Chanco, di ba? Ang daming na chismis Pero ang lumusot lang, yung wala sa chismis. Si Boji D.
Ayan.
Diba? Siya yung hindi kasama sa chismis, siya yung lumabas.
But we all know why. Siya yung, out of all the options, he's the one that had the least baggage.
Pero hindi lumalabas yung pangalan niya until it happens.
Oo nga,
diba?
pero medyo biglaan din siya
Yung iba kasi, na-float, several weeks, several months.
So for example, I don't know if naalala ng viewers, dati nung medyo mainit pa yung online gambling issue, of course, Congressman Albi Benitez will not be considered kasi he has ties to online gambling. They own online gambling firms. Diba? So,
pero siya lang ang gumawa ng major bid para talaga maging speaker. Ibig sabihin, full court press. Although, hindi rin niya aminin. Si Toby, twice na-float as speaker.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
Before the SONA, after the SONA. Si Frasco na-float din. Diba?
Si Duke Frasco.
Pero what's interesting about Ronnie Puno is that he's always been there as a major political figure working behind the scenes. Diba? He's you might call him the ultimate operator. There you go.
Behind the scenes operator.
Hindi kagaya ni
Frasco, siya yung nag-ano ng panahon ni GMA. Sinabi niya sa amin, siya nagsabi sa amin.
So he has
ng panahon ni GMA, yung pardon.
Pero hindi kasi operator ang kailangan ng presidente. Ang kailangan ng presidente ay somebody loyal sa kanya. Yung talagang total lang loyalty. Dahil halimbawa, si Ronnie Puno, secretary ng DILG yan ni GMA.
That's true.
At alam mo naman kung nasaan si GMA ngayon. Diba? Last election, 2022,
majority.
Wala si Ronnie Puno sa kampanya ni BBM. Wala siya sa Uniteam. No? So, yan ay ifa-factor in dun sa pipili sa kanya as a possible speaker. Tapos ikatlo, hindi siya Ilocano. No?
Mukhang yun ang clincher Although hindi yun ang one and only clincher.
Huwag niyong kalimutan, may open threat si Sara na i-impeach si BBM.
Yeah.
No? So,
impeachment, we need a speaker who will make sure that doesn't happen.
Yes.
Bakit? Boji can make it happen? Or can prevent that from happening?
Hindi. Prevent is another thing, pero hindi niya gagawin. No? Makaibigan ng mga magulang nila, Ilocano siya, di ba? Nasa partido siya ng presidente, partido federal. So, yun yung going for him. Di ba?
I get what you mean about Ronnie Puno. Yung kanya nakaraan is too colorful.
Kwento niya sa amin noon, yung si Ronnie Puno. Nung na-pardon si Joseph Estrada ni GMA, siya daw yung nag-propose na yung full pardon, i-restore yung political rights.
Oh, so siya yung may
Siya daw yun, no?
Sa may pakana.
Oo. Kaya nakatakbo si Erap as mayor and later, muntik nang manalo as president, di ba? Na hindi ni-resolve. Nag-chicken siguro, dami-daming kaso siguro Supreme Court. Sabi, tapos na yan moot na, no? And dahil natalo naman daw, hindi na sila nag-rule. Dapat nag-rule sila ron.
Okay. So siya pala naglagay nun?
Siya daw, sabi niya. Ano siya nun, hindi ba? During GMA's time, it was very influential.
Tsaka masyadong volatile yung sitwasyon ngayon eh. Biro mo, kapapalit lang ng 2 pinakamataas na cabinet secretary. Tapos papalitan mo uli ang speaker. Tapos
itong pagpalit kay E.S. Bersamin was badly handled, obviously. Kasi bumaliktad sila agad. I mean, they could have controlled that narrative better.
Actually, yung timing is terrible. Dahil 3 weeks na yung pinag-uusapan eh. Kung ginawa nila yan before nung testimony ni Saldico, before nung testimony ni Bernardo, so hindi nagmukhang parang dahil doon, kaya tinanggal. No? Dahil 3 weeks na yung pinag-uusapan eh. No? Hindi yan bago.
Because 3 weeks ago, nalaman na nila yung connection ni E.S. Lucas Bersamin kay Adrian Bersamin and yung alleged activities nitong Adrian.
Hindi pa ganun ka-solid yung testimony ni Bernardo noon. Diba? Pero may indication na siya na
the grandnephew might be involved.
Yes. Tapos si Tri-Gib, na very close kay Pangandaman, ay involved. So may mga ganun na. Hindi pa talaga tumatama sa kanila.
You're right. Kasi sabi ni Ombudsman Remulla sa amin that Adrian Bersamin has been on his radar for a long time. Mukhang
hindi yun bago.
He tried to push through some appointments na hindi in-approve ni Remulla.
At syempre, paboritong grandnephew.
Mahal na mahal nga daw niya.
E.S. Bersamin. Lahat ng appointments niya from Supreme Court to GSIS to ES, etc. Nandun lagi yun.
Kung si the younger Bersamin, si Adrian Bersamin, tamaan ng kaso. Kasi malamang tatamaan ng kaso yun eh. Masasapan ng kaso yun eh.
Conspiracy to commit plunder, di ba?
Anong malamang gagawin ni ES? Di kayo siya babaliktad?
Well, that's one step away from the former executive secretary. Ang sabi nga ni ES, di sampahan niyo ako ng kaso. Parang naghahamon siya. Ate akong Chief Justice.
Yes, correct.
Diba? Sampahan niyo ako ng kaso. Pero huwag niya kalimutan, 2 Chief Justice ang sampahan ng kaso. Si Sereno at si Coronel.
Pero tama din siya, mahirap i-prove ang conspiracy to commit plunder. Mahirap nga yung plunder. Tapos conspiracy to commit plunder pa, dadagdagan mo pa ng conspiracy.
Unless yung grandnephew niya ay tetestigo, which I doubt. Diba?
Which I doubt, yes. They seem to be very close.
Pero bata pa yan eh. Papakulong ba yan? Di ba?
Bakit naman hindi?
He has his whole life ahead of him.
Si Alice Go, bata pa eh.
So,
si Alice Go, bata pa.
Akala mo lang yun, Ami, baka 65 na talaga siya. Hindi lang natin.
Fresh na talaga siya, fresh.
Parang sino mag-iisip na si Saldico magtetestigo? Diba?
But do we take his testimony as, gospel truth? Siyempre hindi.
Whether that is true or not is another thing. Pero ibig sabihin, yung tatalon siya ng bigla, key element siya ng Marcos government. It's the head of appropriations. Siya yung pinakamalapit sa speaker, etc., etc. Diba? Siya ba ay lilipat sa kabila? Galit na galit sa kanya yung kabila? Galit na galit sa kanya mga Duterte, diba? Pero it happened. Diba? Dahil marami sa mga taong ito, hindi naman mga ideological katulad ni Ed Lingao. Na magpapakamatay para sa prinsipyo, para sa vision, para sa ideology.
Wala naman ako yun. Siya yung
wala namang ideology.
Siya yung he can argue any side of it. Ako yung magpapakamatay sa prinsipyo.
Wala namang ideology ito mga to eh. Ang mahalaga sa kanila ay survival, self-interest, di ba? So they can jump ship anytime.
Ronald, bakit napasok si Tri-Gib? Nasa DepEd siya. Anong papel? Ano siya napunta dyan sa iskandalong yan? Hindi ko malaman. Sino ba kontak niya?
Kung papakinggan mo yung testimony ni Bernardo, ang contact nga daw niya
hindi,
ay si Secretary Pangandaman.
Okay.
Secretary Pangandaman.
Ibang klaseng contact naman yung
teka lang. Before you get into the details, I have to bring in our guest kasi baka nag-aantay na. We are talking today to Congressman Egay Erice, House Senior Deputy Minority Leader. Good afternoon, Congressman Erice. Can you hear us?
Good afternoon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon sa mga viewers.
Good afternoon, sir. Sorry, nagkikwentuhan kami dito sa mga posibilidad, lalo dyan sa Kongreso.
Congressman, hindi ka namin makita. Naririnig ka lang namin. Pakita ka naman.
Oo nga. Oo nga.
May phone patch lang siya.
What's going on at the lower house, Congressman? We're hearing there might be another leadership change.
Wala naman. Ano lang yun? Mga nag-upload lang yun. I don't think that we can afford the leadership change sa ngayon.
One of the few times na magkaparehas kami ng pagsusuri ni Congressman Egay.
Actually, kahapon nagpalit ng senior deputy speaker. So, yun yung indication na lumalakas na yung leadership ni Speaker Boji.
Why was Congressman Suarez demoted?
Kasi alam naman natin na siya ay malapit kay former Speaker Romualdez. So si DS Ferdinand, siya naman yung stalwart ng partido ni Presidente Marcos.
Congressman, hindi ba nakaka-apekto sa leadership ni Speaker Boji D yung kanyang anti-dynasty bill? Dahil alam naman natin, maraming mga kongresista ay miyembro ng mga dynasties.
Oh, you think?
Including him.
Including him. Actually, siya isa sa pinakamarami na...
One of the biggest.
Yan naman yung panawagan natin na dapat ito yung panahon na against self-interest, for the sake of national interest, ay limitahan na namin yung political dynasties dahil ito yung pinakamalaking dahilan ng corruption sa ating bansa.
How about the other congressmen? Yun ang tanong ko, Kong. Yung mga congressmen na member ng dynasties.
Nakikita ko may traction at hindi lang siguro mabibigla ang parang consensus bawasan pero wag naman ilimitahan sa isa.
Meaning hanggang second degree. Congressman, posible hanggang second degree.
Yung
reasonable
actually
yun.
For 5 congresses, ako yung author niyan yung anti-political dynasty bill. So, nung una talagang hardliner ako na isa lang. Pero nung 2015, I think, nung panahon ni President Pinoy, nakapasa ito for the first time sa committee level, ginawa ko 2. So ngayon, ang nirefile ko, 2 per family. Pero yung direct family lang, meaning tatay, lolo, nanay, kapatid, anak, apo, yun ang hindi pwede. Pero yung pinsan, hindi naman. Kasi talaga namang hindi na yung direct family.
Well, sir,
so ang sense nyo, within the first degree of affinity, consanguinity, pero 2 lang na miyembro ng pamilya na nasabay na nagse-serve yon.
Yes. Meron ngang sinasabi si Speaker Boji, baka pwede isang national, isang local, parang gano'n.
So feeling nyo kung gano'n magkakaroon ng feeling nyo kung gano'n magkakaroon ng political support?
May traction, may traction, saka tingin ko, kapag yung lahat ng hindi boboto dito, palagay ko may epekto sa kanila sa 2028 elections. Lalo na sa mga Gen Z, ramdam ko na ayaw na nila ng mga political dynasty.
Well, sir, it is good that this is finally being discussed seriously again and brought forward by the Speaker himself. But my question is this, wouldn't the Speaker be in danger of losing his position? Considering, I know your assessment is na nagkakaroon ng traction, pero in the end, you're looking at what? At least 80% of Congress being part of a dynasty of some sort.
Pero
baka mamaya matanggal si Speaker because of that.
Actually, kasi inililinggo-linggo ko sila dyan sa privilege speech tungkol dyan sa mga political reforms. So, nakausap ko si Speaker, tapos sabi niya talaga namang kailangan ngayon sa panahon na ito.
Pero tatagal ba siya? Yun ang tanong.
Palagay ko naman tatagal siya. Palagay ko tatagal siya sa
Okay.
Makikibalita na kami sa inyo, ang congressman, kasi ang matunog na matunog si Ronnie Puno eh. Nagpo-float na name lang naman.
That is politically tenable for the president.
Because?
Bakit po?
Ako, sigurado ako, ang loyalty ni Speaker Bogie kay Presidente.
And ang loyalty ni Congressman Puno ay?
Ano siya, veteran siya eh. Pero si actually hindi nga siya interesado tumakbong congressman noong nakaraan, pinilit lang siya sa probinsya niya. So wala talaga siyang wala siyang at pang-lokal talaga siya eh. Wala siyang masyadong commitment sa mga masyadong kakilala sa mga alam mo naman, dito sa national level.
On a different
Pero
topic.
Pero kung sakasakali, kaninong suporta ang MAC? Sinong mga grupo ang posibleng makialyansa kay Ronnie Puno? Kung sakasakali lang naman, sa nakikita niyo?
I don't think that aabot doon eh. Kasi hanggang may confidence si Presidente kay Speaker Bogie, mananatili siya dyan.
Okay.
Okay, kami tayo.
On a different note, Kong, may pinost ka a few days back na sabi mo, very volatile yung ating sitwasyon, very polarized, at in so many words, sabi niyo, we may have to choose between a lesser evil. Anong ibig mong sabihin nun, Kong? Meron ka na bang naisip na lesser evil?
Yung lesser evil is status quo. Lesser evil is status quo. Lesser evil is status quo. Yes, kasi ang sinasabing mga alternative, yung parang revolutionary government, junta, military intervention. Sa tingin ko, yan yung walang future, walang katiyakan yung future natin dyan. Pangalawa, magiging banana republic tayo. Very dangerous na will go out of the Constitution. However, kahit na gano'ng upload yung 1987 Constitution, dapat mag-work tayo within the Constitution. Yung pangalawa, yung resign BBM, papalit si Vice President Sara, lalong magkakagulo, lalong mapopolarize yung situation. Wala rin namang mababago sa sistema. Magbabalimbingan lang yung mga political dynasties at pati mga magnanakaw sa gobyerno, magbabalimbingan lang. So, walang change. So, mabuti pa. Kaya nga, I'm calling for the President na meron naman siyang, hindi niya matatanggi, na meron siyang pagkukulang sa bayan. Dahil sa nangyari na ito sa tatlong GAA, General Appropriations Act, medyo napabayaan niya yan. Nasa laula ng Kongreso, may pagkukulang siya. So, kinakailangan niya talaga mag-institute ng mga political reforms para makabawi siya sa bayan.
Congressman, this just dropped, no? We just got a bit of breaking news from our reporter. Si Ombudsman Boying Remulla has confirmed that he's investigating Pampanga 3rd District Congressman Dong Gonzales because he is allegedly one of the 10 Kong tractors lower house. Kong tractors, meaning congressman na contractor.
Yes.
Do you know anything about this?
Well, I was not a congressman during the 19th Congress, kaya hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari sa kanila eh. Kasi hindi naman dating ganyan na dati kasi yung mga insertions, diversions, and amendments, very minimal. It was only in the 19th Congress na bilyon-bilyon. Umabot ka ng 1.45 trillion yung insertions, diversions, and amendments. So, hindi ko alam kung kaya siguro nauso yung diskaya kasi maraming congressman at mga mayors, mga politiko na nag-contractor na gamit yung mga lisensya ni diskaya.
Anong ibig mo sabihin ng minimal, Kong? Dahil nung panahon ni Digong, there were more than 13,000 flood control projects. No?
But it was in the it was in the NEP, in the national. It was presented in Congress in the National Expenditure Program. So nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na lahat yun ay ma-deliberate sa House, sa Senate. Kasi nasa NEP eh. Pero itong insertions na ito in the history of Philippine Congress, walang ganyang magnitude. Nung 2023, 300 billion, 2024, di pa nga na-imbestigahan yan, yan ang mas malaki, 500 plus billion. At noong 2025, 473 billion. Ang pinakamasakit, hindi nangyayari yan na yung mga flagship projects, yung Philippine Equity to the flagship projects, tinanggalan ng pondo, nilagay sa program funds. Hindi nangyayari yan. Kaya nga na-delay yung Metro Subway from 2028 target date of completion, magiging 2032, yung PNR Elevated Railway from 2029 to 2032. Pati PhilHealth, di ba? Pati yung PBIC. Hindi naman nangyari yan ng panahon ni Duterte. Hindi naman nangyari yan ng panahon ni Pinoy. Hindi naman ng panahon ni GMA. Si GMA nga binawasan, ginawa niya, pumayag siya, re-enacted budget. Si Pinoy, 1 billion lang mawala dyan. Uminginit ang ulo niya, nagwawala yan. Medyo napabayaan talaga ng executive department. Kasi 3 years eh.
Is it just the executive department?
You don't know anything.
Executive department lang nagkulang here?
Siyempre, bandang uli, kay Presidente yan.
But it was Congress that deliberated the budget and made the insertions.
Yeah, si DBM, siya. Yun ako sa akin, unimaginable na yung Presidente, sinalaula yung budget niya for 3 years, hindi niya alam. Hindi, ano yan, it's a question of complicity or competency.
So,
but
in spite of that, Kong, tingin mo, siya pa rin yung lesser evil?
Kasi ano ba talaga? Lesser evil ba siya?
Everyday maraming nangyayari. Maraming lumalabas. Sa ngayon, ang pinaka-lesser evil sa akin, yung hindi tayo magkakaroon ng paglihis sa constitutional process. Kung may kasalanan ng Presidente, saka Vice President, willing ako, file lang ko sila ng impeachment para lang dumaan sila sa proseso kaysa sa magkaroon ng military junta.
Sir, along that line, sir, kasi by February of next year, pwede na ulit sampahan ng impeachment complaint si BP Sara. But with what's been happening in the past few weeks or months, what are the chances na baka maunahan pa na mapailan si BBM ng impeachment complaint?
Yung lesser evil.
Yung lesser evil.
Alam mo, depende nga sa mga pangyayaring yan. Alam naman natin dito, dahil transactional lang mga political parties, hindi naman prinsipyo, madaling pumalimpig. Kung sila lamang, dun sila.
Yes, pero Congressman, may appetite pa ba na mag-impeach kay Vice President? Meron pa ba sa House na sa 20th Congress? O
nagbago na ihip?
Especially with the new rules on impeachment. Dahil pinahirapan ni Mark Viclionen at ng Supreme Court yung proseso ng pag-i-impeach.
Hindi natin malaman. Siyempre, labanan yan. Alam naman natin na well-oiled din yung machinery ng administration. So, ito, magkakaroon talaga ng labanan. Pero ako, for the purpose of malaman natin yung katotohanan, magkaroon ng investigation in the Justice Committee of the House at para magkaroon ng trial kung sakasakali sa Senado, naman yan, magiging very transparent naman yan pag nagkaroon ng mga trial, mas mabuti na yun kaysa sa isang military junta.
Pero sir, I mean, we'd like to ask you what you think is the temper of the lower chamber at this particular point. I understand the temper, of course, might a bit different January, February of this year versus September, October, November. Has it changed po yung ihip ng hangin sa Kongreso o ganun pa rin ho ba?
Tahimik. Silent.
Yes, sir, but silent can mean a lot of things. Waiting game.
What are you waiting for?
Sila naghihintay. Ako hindi. Daldal ako ng daldal.
Teka lang, what are they waiting for? They're waiting for a signal from whom? What?
Hindi, yung naghihintay ng political climate, naghihintay yan ng kung saan yung daloy.
Kung sino yung...
Ay, kiramdam.
Sir, pag sabi kasi daloy, iba yung connotation ng daloy.
Ay, kiramdam. Nagaganon dun sa hangin. Pinapakiramdaman yung higit ng hangin.
Ano ba yung agos?
Yan.
Agos, di ba?
Agos ng
agos ng tubig. Kasi mahirap daw kumontra sa agos ng tubig.
Yes, sir.
Congressman, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung may mga ugong pa rin na meron daw mga gustong mag-impeach kay President Marcos naman. Yun, may traction ba yun?
Wala. Ang alam ko lang nagsasabi niya si Kiko Barsaga eh.
Okay. Walang iba.
So ganun, sir. Sa lower chamber at least, tingin nyo kukunti pa lang, including Kiko Barsaga, ang nagpaparamdam na maaari silang magsampa ng impeachment laban kay Pangulong Marcos.
Oo. Sabi ko nga, every day may mga lumalabas. Kaya lang, hindi, marami pa rin questions. For example, doon sa mga revelations ni former Congressman Saldico, maraming questions. So, yun yung dapat maging malinaw yun para siguro, kung maging malabo yan, saka wala mangyari. Pero kung maging mas malinaw yan, kaya nga kung ako kay Presidente, unahan ko na, ipaliwanag niya na bakit ba napabayaan niya yung tatlong sunod-sunod na budget niya ay nasa laula. Yun ang malaking question mark sa akin.
You have a point, Congressman, but balikan ko lang din yung point ko, which is Congress is the one that deliberated the budget that made the insertions. Diba nga, from NEP to GAA, it was during the BICAM process that hundreds of billions of pesos were inserted. Diba? Tapos na-veto lang in the end. But sa Congress yun nangyari.
Hindi na-veto. Actually, na-veto is only 29 billion out of the 500 plus
26
diversion.
No. 26 in the infrastructure works. Pero 190. No. There was 190 something na na-veto sa unprogrammed.
Kasi yun unprogrammed yung binito.
Oo, kahit paano sa unprogrammed. But my point is...
Unprogrammed funds,
hindi rin
wala yun, baliwala yun.
Hindi rin naman.
Yun kasi wala namang source of revenue yun eh. Walang source of revenue ang unprogrammed funds. Actually, if they will insist on putting unprogrammed funds in the 2026 budget, I will question it before the Supreme Court. Kasi ang liwaliwanag naman sa budget process, kailangan may source of revenue yung budget of expenditures.
Oo, correct. But my only point is there is hindi naman pwede that Congress washes its hands off this issue, right?
No, hindi. It's a collaboration. It's a conspiracy.
Kaya nga. It's the whole system. It's a systemic problem, right?
But the president is the head. He is the head of the party, of the coalition. Bakit siya pumayag? Yun ang tanong eh. Bakit siya pumayag? Tapos kino-question niya. Di ba? Siya nag-expose. Sabi niya, hindi niya na nakilala yung budget. Bakit? Kung 1 year, okay lang yun. Kung 3 years, bakit kaya pumayag na sa 3 taon? Ang gagaling niyang BBM na yan, konting changes, alam niya.
So, Kong, this past 20 minutes, Kong, hindi pa rin ba nagbabago yung lesser evil mo?
Wala pa.
Sir, let me put it this way.
So, mararamdaman natin yan yung mararamdaman natin yan sa bandang uli, makikita naman natin yung collective wisdom ng mga tao
Pero kung ang dami na kasing sumabit at pinag-resign, including those very close to the palace, in fact, part of the palace, you have Bersamin 1, Bersamin 2, and and Pangandaman, and of course si
Bersamin
Tigbi.
1 and 2.
These are the most...
Parang B1, B2.
Alam mo yung...
These are the
yung
most
statement
important
ni-
cabinet secretaries.
What I mean to ask po is, do you believe that the buck stops with them? That the president had no idea what was happening, not his backyard, and not in his front yard?
Yeah. I think so. Lalo na kung merong... Kasi, actually, natatakot ako doon sa statement ni E.S. Bersamin na hindi siya nag-resign.
Bakit, sir?
Tinanggal siya. Ang ibig sabihin nun para sa akin, huwag niyo akong pagbibintangan, ako mastermind.
Kung ba yun, Kong, from your vantage point, parang veiled threat?
Tingin ko, huwag niyo akong pagbibintangan, ako ang mastermind.
Oo.
Yun ang tingin ko.
Saka sabi niya,
Yun ang paramdam niya.
ayaw niya na binanggit na nag-resign siya out of delikadesa. Sabi niya may implication yung delikadesa Ayaw niya yun.
Ang
He doesn't like it.
Ang implication on, may kinalaman siya. Diba? So, sabi niya,
delikadesa.
Implication nun, bago yung lesser evil.
Okay.
Binulang mo pa. May microphone ka naman.
Okay.
Nager yan nager.
We leave the conversation there. Thank you for talking to us.
Basta ako, ang sasabihin ko kay Ronald, ang tingin ko, we should not be, we should be always loyal to the Constitution. So, dapat kung ano yung process, yun ang process dapat. Ayaw ko maging banana republic tayo. Pag nagsimula yan, yung mga reset na yan, bandang ulit, para na tayong mga banana republic sa Latin America.
Sino ba nagsabi ng reset? Ikaw ba?
Sabi kasi ng lolo ko, yung lesser evil daw, evil pa rin
Ikaw ba nag-start na reset na yan? Okay, we'll leave that there. Thank you so much for talking to us, Congressman Eke Rice, House Senior Deputy Minority Leader.
Thank you, Congressman.
And also just an update on the story about the Ombudsman investigating former Congressman Dong Gonzales. May response na si former Congressman Gonzales. Sabi niya, while I welcome any inquiry on the matter, I'm not aware of an ongoing Ombudsman formal investigation against me on prohibited interest. I recall that a case against me involving the same projects filed before the Ombudsman was dismissed sometime in 2023 for lack of merit. It appears to be a rehashed and recycled subject, if any. That is the response of Congressman Dong Gonzales to our reporter.
Parang ang nalilink sa kanya, ang sinasabi ay yung kanyang anak ay contractor. Yung kanyang daughter. Daw ay contractor.
Yeah.
Meron nga silang construction firm. Oo.
I remember that. Dong Gonzales.
Oo nga. May mga nire-revive kasi si Boying Remulla.
Parang yung daughter ni Bonoan.
Reviewing several cases na nagkaroon ng kontrobersya, di ba? Ng mga dinismiss nung kanyang predecessor. Kaya may mga cases ngayon na ganyan, naglakapareho ng formally, hinila niya from the Sandigan, pinayagan naman, para tignan kung sino pa yung pwedeng idagdag before it's too late. Yan. Baka isa nga yan doon sa mga kaso.
And
the children of former Pampanga Congressman Aurelio Dong Gonzales bagged 1 billion in public works contracts. A.D. Gonzales Jr. Construction.
A.D. Gonzales.
Anak lang naman pala.
Aurelio
Dong.
Sorry, what was his name?
Hindi pa pinilitan no? Initials pa talaga. Parang CLTG.
Parang CLTG. Parang CLTG.
Teka lang, ang gulo nyo.
Ang tanong, si Dong ba nandito ngayon sa Pilipinas?
Last we heard, wala siya.
Hindi.
I don't know if bumalik na.
Yun ang alam ko.
Oo, last we heard, wala siya. I don't know if bumalik.
Yung ba yung binabanggit mo na, may congressman na wala rito?
Walang HTO.
Oo, kaya...
I'm
yung
sorry.
ba yung binabanggit mo, Ronald, na may congressman na wala rito?
I'm sorry.
Yun, okay.
Si Dong yun.
I just got word in my ear na nakausap ng guest booker namin si former Congressman Dong Gonzales just now on the phone. But I'm not sure if he was in the country or out of the country, but nevertheless nakausap ng booker namin. So he's picking up, he's answering.
Yeah, we're just waiting for him to...
Ako rin, nakausap nyo isang araw Sa Japan ako
And then si Ombudsman Remulla also said maraming sasabit dito now that they've begun investigating the contractors sa lower house. At the moment, at least 10 yung iniimbestigahan nila that they're looking into at this point in time.
Pero nung nagsabi siya na may kakasuhan at malamang makulong, nagbagni siya ng specific na names.
Sa lower house sa Senate?
Yes, si Ombudsman. Si Ombudsman Remulla, binanggit niya si Cheese.
Sa Senate yun?
Yeah, Senate siya.
Joel.
Pero wala ba siyang binanggit sa House?
Wala pa, except we know that these are contractors and marami-rami yatang contractors sa lower house. The ones who have been getting the, not necessarily...
Saka high profile yung Senate Inuuna niya yung mga para kayong mga magrarally sa November 30. Merong mapapakita na ito yung mga big fish, ganyan, may kaso na sila sa court.
Yan. Meron isa pang, okay, so there's also we also just saw a statement from Ramon Ang.
Denying.
Ramon Ang says, I've been getting many messages today and I also saw the story that's been circulating. Let me put things to rest. I am not entering politics. So sa mga, the ones out there who are hoping that si Ramon Ang takes over, he doesn't want to enter politics. Most people know me as someone who works quietly in business, building projects, fixing what I can, and supporting government and communities. This is where I believe I can contribute the most, and that is where I intend to stay.
Knowing RSA, mukhang tama naman yung sinabi niya.
Tama naman.
Wala siyang
saan ba galing yung chismis na?
Kumakalat kasi na Bongbong Marcos out, ganun yung yung quote card, Ramon Ang in. Tapos yung transition revolutionary government or something, parang siya daw ang pipiliin na mag-head, no? Ganon. So maraming kumakalat na ganyan.
But it's by unnamed sources.
Walang nalagay. Ginagamit lang siya.
Do they realize what they're asking for? A revolutionary government?
Yes. Dahil nga, para sa iba, lesser evil yun.
So, this is where we are.
Greater evil.
Para sa iba nga.
This is where we are. The choices are between the worst evil and the lesser evil. Yun na lang ba?
Sabi ni ex-human rights lawyer Harry Roque, pwersa ng kadiliman o pwersa ng kasamaan? O sa kalulugar ngayon?
Paano? Ayan. Di ba kasama siya dun sa human trafficking case?
Pero
naka-archive yun, ano?
Hindi, nasa pwersa talaga siya ng kasamaan. Walang duda ron.
Hindi ba human trafficking case with Alice Go yun? Yung kay Harry, di ba, Ed?
Andun kung kay Alice Go or dun sa isa pang pogo sa area
dun sa yung kay...
You're looking at several pogos hindi lang kay Alice Go. Baka hindi Alice Go.
Pero parang si Alice Go, di ba?
I don't know. Basta it's also a pogo issue. Remember yung kanyang executive assistant na na-link din sa pogo?
Yeah, yung pogo. Human trafficking. Yung kay Cassandra Leong na yung kumpanya, di ba?
So, yun. So, ano ka nga? Pwersa ng kasama, kadiliman.
What's that called? Yung... Yeah. I forgot the name na yung kay Cassandra na...
Yeah, yung human trafficking case.
Oo, I forgot. That's another pending case that we're monitoring, yung kay Harry Roque. Whatever happened to that? Natabunan na.
Yeah. Actually, that's what people are waiting for, whether...
Parang kailan lang, araw-araw nasa news.
Marami kasing mas bigger fish kesa sa humba.
Hindi naman fish ang humba Baboy na may pinya.
And on those wise words, we shall end the show. Thank you so much for the StoryCon today. I'm Pumantuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit. Join us again tomorrow, 4 p.m. on StoryCon. I'm Regina Lake.
I'm Ed Lingao, kapatid. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.